saying, Jess, you look absolutely stunning tonight. As you know, I'm Brandon, Spencer's older brother by 3 years, which means I've had a front row seat to every single thing that this man has ever done. Thank you all for showing up tonight because you hear about something. I spent a long time trying to figure out how to explain my brother to people in this room who haven't known him that long. And I kept coming back to the same thing. To understand Spencer, you have to understand that from the very beginning, he has been completely, genuinely, unreasonably unafraid of anything. So let me tell you about the first time I was fairly sure he wouldn't live long enough to see a day like today. I was on my scooter on a rack patio, and I look over, and Spencer is standing at the top of our driveway with his big wheel. Now, our driveway wasn't really a driveway, it was really just a steep hill, and at the bottom of that hill there was no fence, just a drop off into the woods and into a wall of burger bushes. So he looked at all that and did not hesitate. I watched with my jaw on the floor as you soared through the air into one of the bushes, thinking you did it, and instead you got up and you did it again. My mother is here tonight, Mom. I want you to know you did nothing wrong. My favorite story though was when he was about 6 or 7 and he wanted to go with my dad over to a friend's house, but my parents told him no. He pouted for a little, went up to his room, and the rest of us figured that he fell asleep. A little while later, my dad called and asked my mom why she had just dropped Spencer off. She hadn't. So my 6-year-old brother just walked a couple of miles in the middle of winter and found that house completely on his own. But he didn't remember to put his puppy coat on, so priorities. Really think about that for a second. 6 years old, no plan he told anyone about, no backup, no doubt in his mind that he'd get there. He just decided he was going anyway. That's been the pattern ever since. Spencer does things his way, and his way is almost always the single hardest possible way to do it. If there are 2 roads to the same place, he'll make a third one, and it won't make sense to anybody but him. He was also, from a very young age, completely impossible to read. He had this drawer, it was his drawer, that had everything in it, from Nerf guns to toy cars to any little trinket he deemed special. Now, to this day, I don't know what the requirement was to be considered special, but I did know that you could not look at the drawer, you could not open the drawer, you certainly did not touch the drawer. So, Jess, I'm fairly sure that that drawer still exists somewhere. So that's what we're dealing with. Fearless, stubborn, and running out of a system that nobody else had the code to. And somewhere in there, my mom figured out that Spencer was going to need his own instruction manual. The way she could sit me down and use it with me just didn't work out. It bounced right off. So after a while, she stopped talking to him the way she talked to me, and she learned an entirely different language, which in our house we call speaking Spencer. So Jess, since you're signing up for the whole thing today, I'd like to formally pass it down to you. Rule 1, never throw too much out at once. You will lose him almost immediately. Rule 2, build him up before any criticism. Compliment first, then get to the point in that order every single time. Rule 3, stay firm and do not give him an inch. He won't take 10 hours. And rule 4, he'll tell you what you want to hear just to make sure you're happy, so go back to him later to find out how he actually feels. That's the whole manual. My mom spent years developing it, and once you learn it, you get access to one of the best tools I've ever known. Because here's the thing, those stories are funny, but they're not really the point. Spencer's the guy who walks into a room, the room gets better. He's a light for every party. He can make anybody laugh because everyone else is loving himself. He has an enormous heart. There's nothing he wouldn't do for somebody he loves.
That's right.
Now, I will be honest about one stretch of our relationship. When he was in high school and I was away at college, he was young, making what we'll politely call young decisions. And I spent a lot of that time worrying about him. And then Jess came along. It all did. I wasn't sold at first. But that lasted about as long as it took to watch what she did for him. Jess brought up Virgin, my brother. I had no weakness for years. He grew up, he self-lived to himself, he became the man I always knew was in there somewhere. And he didn't lose a single thing that makes him him. He just got steadier. I don't worry about it anymore because I know exactly who he's taking next to. If you want to know the moment I really figured that out, it wasn't a big one. We were all around the table at Mom's, playing cards, having a few drinks, and this little song came on. The 2 of them just started singing to each other. Not performing, not being funny, not putting on a show, but for about 3 minutes, there was nobody else in the room. That's not something you can fake. It's not something you can talk yourself into. Either that or you don't. It needs to happen. Jess, I want to say the rest of this straight to you. You don't just show up to things. You pay attention. You notice the person person who's gone quiet at the table. Remember the small stuff people mentioned once and forget they said it. There's a second mistake that this thing they didn't know was missing until you walked in. And you've been incredible with my son Cooper. It's been easy to see how much you love him since day one. And I don't know how to tell you how much that means to me, so I'll just say it's a big part of why I stopped worrying about this a long time ago. Today, you didn't just marry Spencer. You got a big brother out of the deal whether you want to or not. And then somebody to call it something breaks, although I shouldn't admit, and you call Spencer something breaks. It means somebody to complain to about him, and it means somebody even for a permanent. Spence, I don't know if you remember this, but there's a picture of the two of us when we were little, and we're posing for him. I throw up a peace sign, but instead of looking at the camera, you were looking over at me trying to copy my hands. I've always tried to be a good role model, knowing you were watching, but what you don't know is I've been looking up to you the entire time. Your fearlessness, your confidence, the way you move through the world without ever waiting for permission, to make people laugh without trying. You're not just my little brother, you're my best friend, and I cannot be more proud of you. So everyone, please raise a glass. Spencer, yes, to a lifetime of songs at the kitchen table, and to my brother, who never once looked before he leaves, and always ends up exactly where he's supposed to be. Cheers.
And after you take that sip, let's hear it for Brandon and everybody because we're always thankful. Now, before we begin our